now time to take a look at our birthday anniversary salutes. Happy birthday to Jordan. She turns 26 today, and this wish comes from Troy, Kinsley, and Alana. They say they love you and hope you have an amazing birthday weekend. And happy birthday to Carmen Suits. She turns 62 today. This wish comes from Marilee, Trevor, Lauren, Hayden, and Sawyer. They say you are always the life of every party and our biggest cheerleader. Everyone that encounters you is immediately blessed and encouraged. We love you very much. Happy birthday to Harper Lewis. She turns 13 today, officially a teenager. Congratulations, you are our Bojangles winner today. We'll mail you a gift card for breakfast on us. And if you want to celebrate someone's special day, make sure you send in your salute at least 1 week in advance to salutes@local3news.com. Please include your phone number and address. Well, a California man has made his way to Rhode Island on a mission that is turning heads. The 73-year-old is striving to cycle or walk all 50 states. Sam Reed has more on what inspired his journey.
As people all over spend the summer outdoors, taking advantage of the nice weather, 73-year-old Ron Dupre is doing the same, making the most of his life after an accident.
When I start a project, I will stick to it. I will do my best.
A while back, he got hurt after falling from a ladder.
I know how hard it is to get going again.
But he refused to give up and put all of his effort into making a full recovery. Now, he hopes to be an inspiration to others his age, proving they too can push forward.
And living better, which often ends up living longer.
Which is why the senior is doing something many of us could only imagine: walking or cycling 50 kilometers in 50 states in 50 days.
I realized that unless I did something crazy, it wouldn't draw attention to this important project.
He started his journey in Hawaii. The California resident recently made his way through more than 30 states.
The only real challenge I've had is down south, where it was extremely humid. Louisiana, for example, the humidity was incredible.
He also made it right here to Rhode Island. But besides the physical activity, he's taking his mission a step further too.
We're stopping at senior centers to talk with the seniors, to encourage them, to empower them, to motivate them, just to connect with them and to talk to them about what factors in life make life more enjoyable.
Ron has spoken at nursing homes in several of the states he's been to, including the Cherry Hill Manor Nursing and Rehab Center in Johnston.
Because in the United States, there are 58 million seniors, and only 8 million get the exercise we need.
His goal is to get people his age to move more, and he's hoping this is the realization they may need, and a push for positivity that one step at a time, they can do it.
And you have to just keep on going. Don't give up.
Ron Dupree actually joined us here on our weekday morning newscast not too long ago. He should also complete his goal by July. If you would like to hear more about Ron's story and Senior Strides, you can visit our website, local3news.com. And coming up after the break, we have all the news, weather, and traffic. TVA plans to start fresh at the Bull Run fossil plant, and it began with implosions.
Plus, it is a foggy start to the morning across the Tennessee Valley. I'll have details on the forecast coming up soon.
And a Centennial Gala was held for one of the Southeast's oldest sorority chapters. We have that story and more just ahead.
This is Local 3 News, Weekend Today.
Good morning, Tennessee Valley, and thanks again for starting your morning here with us on Local 3 News Weekend Today. I'm Leah Bowling. We also have meteorologist Audrey Shirley standing by, and walking out the door this morning, it's that humidity that you first noticed, Audrey.
Yes, it is very, very muggy outside. It's also very foggy. We can see that in that camera right there. And so just use extra caution on any early morning commute you may have, especially if you're in higher elevations. That's where it's going to be even more dense. But within the past few hours, we have not had any additional rainfall, and that's going to be the pattern for this morning. It will continue to be rain-free until we reach the afternoon hours. Now, again, it is very foggy for this morning. We're even looking at some reduced visibility to about 1/4 of a mile or less. So just be extra careful because of that reduced visibility, of course, and do not use your brights or anything either on the roads. Now it's 72 degrees in Chattanooga, 66 in Altamont, 68 degrees in Cleveland, 65 right now in Murphy, 70 degrees in Athens. But look at those dew points. They are in the 60s and even up to 70. So the closer the dew point is to the actual temperature, means it is very muggy outside. And it just feels really stuffy when you walk out the door. And as we head into the afternoon, that's when we can expect to see a slim chance for a pop-up thunderstorm or two across the valley. And those chances will last until 11 p.m. Eastern time. Now with some of these storms, some of the stronger ones, we could be expecting some gusty winds. We're not looking at damaging winds though. We're talking gusts up to 30 miles an hour possible, and then even some heavy rainfall, of course lightning with that system, and possibly some small hail. So we're going to keep an eye out on that and track all of them as they come through. But aside from the thunderstorms, it's also just going to be, again, very muggy, and that humidity is high, and so that it's going to actually feel like it is 97 degrees for the high, even though the high today is 90 degrees. So keep that in mind for today to stay extra hydrated as we head throughout the day. Again, more chances for some thunderstorms, and I'll be talking more about that complete timeline coming up soon. Leah.
All right, thank you so much, Audrey. Well, TVA conducted a unique event. They imploded the Bull Run fossil plant. Take a look at video of the plant coming down. It's kind of crazy. Demolition experts safely imploded the 500-foot and 800-foot stacks at the plant. As you can see, it was very scenic. The fossil plant had been running for 61 years before being retired in 2023. TVA says they are now focused on what's next, and they say they'll be using the site to pursue new energy technologies for expanding American power generation. It's been 1 year since 41-year-old Valerie Elder Smiley of Chattanooga disappeared. Her family and friends have spent many long, agonizing months praying for her safe return. Back on June 28th of last year, the wife and mother of 4 got in her red Ford Expedition and left her Chattanooga home. She'd planned on going to her twin son's baseball game that evening, but she never made it. It would be the last time her family saw her. For 1 year now, family members have diligently continued their search, sharing flyers, following up leads in Georgia and around the local area, hoping to find her.
Taking together to get her home, and we're not gonna stop until she's with us. That's right.
Whereabouts, please call the Chattanooga Police Department. Well, people were dressed up as they attended a Centennial Gala for one of the Southeast's oldest sorority chapters. In attendance were Local 3's Latrice Curry, president of the chapter, and Madison Sims, a member. Local 3's Catherine Vaughn attended and has more.
The chapter has had a lasting impact on Chattanooga and across the world. The celebration is a reminder of that and the 100 years of servitude to the scenic city. The Pi Omega chapter is the second oldest in the Southeast and one of 9 that make up the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. The sorority was established at Howard University in 1908 and has made its mark in all 50 states and 12 countries.
It demonstrates that we are continuing to perpetuate what our founders started 117 years ago throughout, not just here in Tennessee, but really throughout the world.
Since then, its members have been fulfilling the lifelong mission of sisterhood and servitude.
It is truly the core of why we exist, and that is to give back, to make communities better and brighter than how we found them.
They primarily focus on education, health, social justice, and economic empowerment.
Some kids don't have food over the weekend. We forget that, but they have food to take home so that they can eat when school is out. That makes a big difference to know that a child is being taken care of.
Leaders say this dedication and sacrifice is what the past 100 years have looked like, and they'll continue to build their lasting legacy over the next 100.
We want to empower young leaders. We want to let them know that you can do what you want to do. You can be what you want to become if you believe strongly enough and trust God that you can get there.
For Local 3 News, I'm Catherine Vaughn.
Mowbray Volunteer Fire Department was joined by the Dallas Bay Fire Department and Sequoia Volunteer Fire Department for a celebration of life for Bobby Johnson. Johnson was battling cancer and passed away earlier this month. The celebration of life honored Bobby and his deeds. The Mowbray Fire Department says it was an honor to celebrate such a wonderful man and brother. A GoFundMe has been started for Bobby's family for funeral and medical expenses. Now back here in Chattanooga, the search to replace Chattanooga's fire chief has been narrowed down to 6 internal candidates. Chief Phil Hyman plans to retire in July. He became fire chief in 2017 and has worked with the Chattanooga Fire Department for 30 years. Chattanooga's deputy chief operating officer says the city posted the job internally.
Since we're here to confirm and
reconfirm. The process was modeled after last year's search for a Chattanooga police chief. The Chattanooga Library and the Chattanooga Area Food Bank are teaming up for an upcoming food drive. Between July 7th and July 28th, non-perishable foods will be accepted at any of the Chattanooga Library locations. They need peanut butter, canned vegetables, soup, and fruit. You can also drop off any fresh produce that you've grown yourself at the Chattanooga Food Bank on Amnicola Highway. Here's a live look at I-24 eastbound this morning. As you can see, the lanes are shut down near Germantown Road due to road work, and there's some fresh asphalt that's just been laid there. You can expect delays throughout the morning. You can visit our website, local3news.com, for a list of detours and what work is being done. We wanted to give you a closer look at some of that work from a better angle. You can see crews were working on the lane replacement and tearing up asphalt. We'll continue to monitor the closure and bring you updates both on air and online. And don't forget, today is the big day. We're giving away the St. Jude Dream Home. We will be live from the Dream Home in Soddy Daisy from noon until 1 here on Local 3. If you bought a ticket, you may just win this $700,000 house or one of the other great prizes. So be sure and tune in today starting at noon. And after the break on Local 3 News Weekend today, the Minnesota State Representative who was killed in an apparent politically motivated shooting was laid to rest. We have that story after the break. Mourners honored the life and legacy of Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark on Saturday. A private funeral was held for the couple who were shot and killed in their home in what authorities say was a politically motivated assassination. Jen Sullivan reports.
Family, friends, and political colleagues gathered inside the Basilica of St. Mary in Minneapolis to say their final goodbyes to State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark.
Our hearts are deeply saddened at the loss of Melissa and Mark.
The Hortmans were shot and killed in their home June 14th in what authorities say was a targeted attack. Police say the shooter was 57-year-old Vance Belter.
We are the ground zero place for political violence and extremism.
Saturday, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz delivering the eulogy.
I get to remember as a close friend, a mentor, and the most talented legislator I ever known.
Friday, the Hortmans lay in state. Between their caskets, the urn of their beloved golden retriever Gilbert, who was also shot during the attack and later euthanized. Just a few miles away Friday, Belter was in federal court where he faces multiple charges, including murder. Police say he also shot and seriously injured State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette in their home. Authorities called the attacks a politically motivated assassination. Court filings show authorities searched Belter's vehicle and found at least 3 AK-47 assault rifles, a 9mm handgun, as well as a list of names and addresses of other public officials and figures with ties to the abortion movement. Earlier this week, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi responded to concerns about politicians' safety.
And I also want to make sure all members of Congress are safe as well.
I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
The federal murder charges specifically can carry the death penalty if prosecutors decide to seek it. Now back here in our area, a local group is helping pregnant and single moms in college. Michelle Herron says they're making a difference.
When you walk into the Momentum, smiling faces of local moms and their little ones, including Lanisha Gatewood and her son Zion.
I've always had a desire to learn about the body, a desire to serve people. I think that's very important. I think that's a skill that I have, a gift actually.
She started taking classes at Chat State to pursue her dream of becoming a nurse when she found out she was pregnant. She turned to a mentor for help because she knew she didn't want to become a statistic.
I don't want to fall into those categories, I want to keep going, but I'm like, I don't know how. I've never seen anyone else do it. But, she was like, it was like an aha moment. She was like, I do know a program that helps single moms in college.
That aha moment changed Lanisha's life through the Momentum Network. The nonprofit has helped Lanisha carve out a path to become a nurse. They've helped her with residential and relational support too.
Right now I'm in a season where I have to sacrifice a lot of time with my friends, sometimes family, to really focus and lock in.
Their sacrifices, Lanisha says she's willing to make for Zion.
That's something that was really important for me. I'm like, I want my son to be able to have a stable future. I can send him off to college and he can have a comfortable life and enjoy his childhood. So I'm working as hard as possible.
The Institution of Women's Policy and Research reports 23% of all undergraduate students are parents. A statistic Kara Hicks, Chief Empowerment Officer, says shows the need for support.
To look at the campuses here that we serve, primarily UTC, that's over 2,300 students at UTC who are parenting, and most of those are single moms.
The support from Momentum helps single moms overcome the barriers that sometimes come with being a single parent and help them get into successful careers.
We work with them to get really clear about where they want to go and help them find ways to get there.
Lanisha is set to graduate in May and has plans to join UTC's accelerated nursing program. The future for her and Zion looks bright.
We're here to be a beacon of light and show students that they're not alone, that they can do this.
The Momentum Network has openings for the Empower program. We have information on how you can apply or how you can volunteer at local3news.com. With this week's Making a Difference, I'm Michelle Herron.
We have some more chances for some pop-up storms this afternoon. I'll have all the details coming up next. Happy Sunday morning, everybody. It will be calm overall for this morning. Very muggy though, but we do have some foggy conditions out there until some more thunderstorms arrive between 1 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. But look at this, it will be storm free for both Thursday and for the 4th of July. Now, again, we do have some dense fog out there this morning. So we're talking visibility being reduced to possibly 1/4 of a mile or less. So it's going to be important to be extra careful on the roads. Also, don't use your brights or anything like that as we head throughout the morning time. But luckily that is expected to clear up though before noon, and then it'll all be good to go. But within the past few hours, we have not had any additional rain showers, and that'll be the same pattern as we head throughout the morning time. As we head into the afternoon hours, so that's when we can have a few pop-up storms. The chances though for portions of some of the hours are a bit on the minimal side. As we head more towards the later evening hours, that's when those chances increase just a little bit. So we're going to be seeing, again, more chances for some scattered thunderstorms too in the evening time. Now, those chances end at 11 p.m. and then overnight, it's going to be much calmer again, headed into the morning time before even more storms arrive on Monday afternoon. So another similar weather pattern here. And then we'll get a little bit of a break in the evening. Now, it's currently 72 degrees in the Scenic City, 68 degrees in Cleveland, 72 in Scottsboro, 68 degrees in Fort Payne, 70 degrees in Calhoun this morning. Again, very muggy too. It just feels very stuffy outside with the extra humidity in the air. And some slim chances for portions of the afternoon, and then in the evening time those chances do increase a bit, but it'll be calm overnight for those storms. Now, today's high overall will be 90 degrees, but it's going to feel like it's 97 degrees because of all that moisture in the air. It'll be 90 in Cleveland, 90 in Dalton, 89 in Lafayette, 82 degrees in Altamont, 90 degrees in Athens. And for this evening, on the warmer side again to 72 degrees for the low. Storms end at around 11 p.m. and then it will be fairly pleasant through the overnight hours. It'll be 69 degrees in Cleveland, 67 in Altamont, 69 in Dayton, 65 degrees in Blue Ridge, 69 degrees in Calhoun for the lows. And tomorrow we're looking at just a just super, just slightly cooler. I mean, 88 degrees for the high, so back in the 80s, but we do have some more thunderstorm chances on the way. It's going to be very muggy as we head throughout the next few days. That humidity decreases just a teeny tiny bit as we head towards the end of the week. Now, temperature highs are going to be again in the 90s, at least for Chattanooga for today. Some areas in the upper 80s. And some areas even in the lower 80s. We even saw in Altamont, it's going to be 82 degrees for the high. For tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures in the 80s, and then we can see we have thunderstorm chances until we reach Thursday. That's when we finally have a break from those storms, but we can see that heat is going to start ramping up just a little bit towards the end of the week when we'll be at 94 for the 4th of July. And speaking of, you know, it's going to be a busy holiday. Even though we have pleasant weather that day, wear sunscreen, stay hydrated, because it's gonna, and we have all that sun, it's gonna beat down. So just keep that in mind.
I burn so easy.
Same, me too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a problem. So
I literally was outside for like 10 minutes the other day, and I had like a small sunburn. I was like, what? Like, why?
And all the sweat, of course.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Audrey. Well, if you're looking to get out of the house today, here's a few things happening around the Tennessee Valley. The Chattanooga Market is back at the First Horizon Pavilion today with a 5-star food fight. Chattanooga's best chefs will take their time to strategically set up their cooking stations equipped with their own knives, cooking supplies, and their best game. They'll shop that day at the market for the fresh ingredients they'll need to complete their main dish. There will also be a secret ingredient that won't be revealed until just before they begin. The market will be from 11 to 2:30 p.m., so be sure to show up and have some fun with amazing chefs. Wow, that is exciting. Also happening today, you can join the Chattanooga Lookouts for a canned food drive. Every Sunday, bring a canned good donation to benefit the Chattanooga Area Food Bank, and you'll receive a free ticket to that day's game. The food drive is presented by the Chattanooga Firefighters Association. The Lookouts will be playing the Pensacola Blue Wahoos, weather permitting. First pitch is at 2:15 p.m. and gates open at 1 o'clock. And don't forget, today's the big day. We're giving away the St. Jude Dream Home. We'll be live from the Dream Home in Soddy Daisy from noon until 1 right here on Local 3. If you bought a ticket, you may win this $700,000 house or one of the other great prizes. So be sure and tune in today starting at noon. And you can find more details and information on all of these events and more listed on our website's community calendar at local3news.com. And next on Local 3 News Weekend today, as we approach 7 a.m., Audrey has another quick look at your forecast when we return.
Cool. Happy Sunday morning, everybody. Once again, it'll be 90 for the high for today. It's going to feel like it's 97 degrees though once we get into the late afternoon, early evening hours. 40% chance for some scattered thunderstorms, mainly peaking in the evening time, but the main time frame for these pop-up storms is between 1 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. So just make sure to, bring in any loose objects outside. We could have gusts up to 30 miles an hour, but we're not expecting any damaging winds. We could see some of course, lightning with this, and then also the chances for some small hail too. So just keep that in mind, and heavy rainfall.
Okay, great. Well, there's much more to come. Join us for another full hour of news and weather right after the break.